Hey guys, my name is Destination. Welcome to Let's Theorize about how Frisk is from Undertale. Now there will be spoilers, so if you haven't played the game, I suggest go out, play it, so you don't get spoiled. Okay. Well, we already know. Frisk is a young child, preferably between the ages of birth and 11 years old. We know this from the Monster Kid and Sans and Toriel, who basically all comment about how Frisk is a child or how they look like a child. We know that they can walk efficiently and talk efficiently. They know how to read and count and exchange money. We know this because they read signs and books and basically everything. And they've also bought things. And we've also obviously haven't seen the shopkeepers so confused why this kid isn't giving me a correct change, so they obviously know how to count money. They want to explore and be independent, and they can understand feelings and analyze situations. Well, what does this mean? Well, Frisk can obviously not be a baby, seeing as they can walk and talk efficiently. This puts them being 4 to 11 years old. But it has to be between the ages of 5 and 11, because during this developmental stage, a major challenge is developing what psychologists call emotional regulation. Meltdowns are common during this period, but parents can use the bond developed during infancy to help the child learn to modulate their emotional expression and begin to grasp the difficult concept of delay of gratification. Well, what does this big passage mean? It means kind of like if they're told no, the child will have a meltdown because they really want it. Instead, Frisk is not shown this, They are really, they have no gender technically, but they are really, calm and they understand, Even when Toriel tells them no, they don't throw a tantrum about wanting to go home. They basically don't give up. And that's a entirely different thing. So ages 5 and 6, they can socially resolve conflicts, understand the abilities and weaknesses of others, which Frisk can obviously do. They can become protective family and friends. They can recognize 300 and 500 common words. I mean, this is all what Frisk knows how to do. But they most likely cannot swim or resolve complex social issues with friends efficiently. We are shown that Frisk knows how to swim when she goes past through the water, so it's not like it's a big deal. And when they go through complicated things like dating and stuff like that, they don't know how to solve that for their friends. So it's kind of, let's not put them at age 5 and 6. And we're talking about an average child. Keep in mind. What about ages 10 to 12? I mean, a lot of people see Frisk as a 10-year-old. Well, 10 to 12-year-olds can do all the things Frisk can do, plus develop romantic feelings for others. And they can reject or be rejected by others, which is good, but they're most likely to experience puberty, which affects the whole ambiguous gender thing. If you don't know what that means, it means you have to use they instead of she or he because their gender is unknown. And they will have had a growth spurt. Now, if you see here, Frisk is around the same height as these kids, as Azrael, Monster Kid, and Chara. And she's also the same height as Sans, but Sans is short, so excluding him. And these would all be considered adults in the monster world. So they're not as tall as them. Even if they did have a growth spurt, they would have been the same size as at least Alphys. So that does not make them 10 or 12. And plus, they've gone through puberty. it would be easy to tell whether if they were a girl or a boy. Sometimes you can't tell with a child that looks like this, if they are a child, if they're a girl or a boy. In some cases, yeah. So they must be 7 to 9 years old. 7 to 9-year-olds are able to swim, they have fine motor skills, their beliefs and world view are influenced by peers and can understand others' viewpoints. We're constantly seeing Frisk being influenced by Papyrus, Sans, Toriel, all them. So that makes sense. They're able to solve complex issues with friends, such as with Alphys dealing with social anxiety or things like that. They're more responsible with items. We don't see Frisk lose a single item unless, they decide to drop it. And they learn from their peers, meaning, how does this affect the whole flirting thing? 10 to 12-year-olds can flirt. Well, you see, Frisk can learn from people that she's seen before, like her friends and stuff. She can learn from them. And seeing them flirt, especially from her parents, if they've seen their parents flirt with other people or whatever, they kind of pick up on that. So that kind of makes more sense. Which brings me to declaring that Frisk must be 8 years old. And here's how and why she must be 8 years old. 8-year-olds can count to 1,000, which makes sense because in the highest gold you can have is up in the thousands, around 2,000. They enjoy solving problems independently with creative strategies. After Toriel leaves, we don't see Frisk upset about having to go through and figure out the puzzles. She's having fun with it. They're having fun with it. Uses comprehension and vocabulary strategies to understand unknown words. This makes sense for when they're learning signs, and they understand what century or anything else means. Enjoys expressing their viewpoints, can mask their emotions, and may engage in leadership and goal setting or determination. This makes complete sense when they're able to do this, because Frisk is considered a leader, and whatever they are, set goals, which makes them determined, which brings on their determination. And under emotionally stressful events, they will seek adults in less direct ways. Meaning, they can call them, just say hi, but in reality, Frisk might be calling to calm themselves down from whatever stressful situation they are, even if it just is saying hi. So that concludes the video. We have confirmed that Frisk is 8 years old. Or not confirmed, but most likely she is 8 years old. Because, they have to be 8 years old. It makes the most sense. It's a great way to decide. It's a great way to decide where they stand, and it makes the most sense. Telling that she has no gender. Her gender is neutral, and it makes sense for her to be 8 years old. So I'll stop that video here. I'm sorry if I said she or whatever. I'm supposed to say they or their. I might have accidentally said it without realizing it. I just love this game. I wish I could play it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And have a nice day. Stay strong.